Well, after what was an extremely eventful penultimate episode of Yellowjackets Season 3, the trailer for the season finale has just been released, and it looks like it could be one that genuinely tops the episode that we just had. This season has been growing and growing in terms of quality, and I think the finale is going to stick to that theme. With it looking like it's now going to be winter, a new hunt is going to be on the horizon, and them actually feasting on somebody by the end of it. It seems like the decision around who could die in this hunt is going to be placed in the hands of Van. Plus, it also looks like the killer of Lottie might also finally get revealed to us. So with that, I thought it would be worth breaking down the trailer and giving my theories and predictions on what I think could happen in the finale. So let's get into it. Here is Yellowjackets Season 3 Episode 10 Trailer Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So the trailer for the finale opened up with a real sinister beginning. There was this static noise as there were 3 shots that were played in quick succession. The first was of somebody looking at the markings in a tree, most likely during the hunt. The second was of somebody consuming meat, which showed that somebody is definitely going to be killed in this hunt. And the third was of one of the Yellowjackets in their outfit ready for the hunt. These opening 3 shots and the noise that accompanied it really set the tone and mood for the final episode, and it showed just how dark of a finale it's going to be. The next shot then contained a line that was spoken by Shauna, where she said, "We have to show the wilderness our respect." There were 2 things in particular that I thought were quite interesting about this shot. The first is that Shauna was in the center and telling the group what they needed to do, showing that she'd fully cemented herself as the group leader. But I also thought it was interesting that she was leading the conversation about the wilderness when historically it's always been Lottie that's spoken to the group about that. I reckon the sudden change in temperature and season is going to make Shauna believe that in order for them to survive, the wilderness is going to want some kind of sacrifice. Hence why she said, "We need to show it our respect." I think this is also connected to the moment in the trailer afterwards where Lottie said to Shauna that they needed to have another hunt. So that could be why Shauna is believing that the wilderness wants it too and is siding with going down that route. Another interesting element about this shot is that Hannah was there with them, and she wasn't tied up in any way whatsoever, showing that she's managed to lure the likes of Shauna into believing that she does actually want to be a part of what they're doing. After this, it then cut to the present day timeline, and there was a shot of Ty holding a knife. She said the line, she's going to end up being the last one standing. And I'm imagining in this instance, she could well be talking about Melissa and the fact that she doesn't want her to be the last one out of the group alive, as it does feel like slowly each and every one of the members are being picked off. And with Melissa killing Van in the most recent episode, Ty could be set on getting revenge for what she did to the love of her life. Ty didn't have it in her to kill before, but with Van being taken away in the way that she was, we're gonna see her not even thinking twice about getting revenge and killing Melissa. The next line that was spoken after this was back in the wilderness timeline, and it was Van saying, "You're asking me to pick who dies." I'm imagining in this situation she's going to be speaking with Ty, and Ty is going to be asking her to rig the cards so neither of those two end up drawing the Queen of Hearts and being the one that gets hunted. So Van is most likely going to rig the card distribution so the person that she wants to die will be the person that draws it. I'm imagining this conversation is going to be led by Evil Ty as well, as Evil Ty was at the wheel at the end of the previous episode. Along with that line being spoken, there was a quick succession of shots which showed Van shuffling the cards, everybody standing around in a circle and them all being drawn out, followed shortly by the group chasing after somebody. Judging by the build of the person, it seems like it could well be Hannah. That's who I'd imagine Van would most likely give the Queen of Hearts to, because she doesn't know Hannah at all. Whereas Van has spent the past year with everybody else in the wilderness. When looking at the clip right at the end of the trailer as well, when comparing the nose of the person that was caught, it definitely seems like it's Hannah that's been unmasked. It's difficult to tell who's holding on to her, but I wonder if it's Travis. After all, Travis is probably the best person to find her because at the end of the day, he just wants to make it out alive, and he might look to try and help her escape. Or maybe if she does get caught, the wilderness might intervene and stop them from killing her. Alternatively, this could actually be where Hannah meets her end, and the death of Hannah that got spoken about could take place, but I don't think that's the case though. It was mentioned how Jen and Melissa got close with Hannah, and all we've had of an apparent closeness was in this one episode, and it was only Melissa in the conversation. So there needs to be time for that to develop. So whilst Hannah could be the subject of the hunt, she might not end up getting consumed. There is a whole body, which is Cody, that's sitting in the pen, so I think the clip of the meeting could be them consuming him, as we've not seen them use that as food yet. So I think the trailer could be leading us astray, unless the time period where the hunt is set is after they've already worked through it. In that case, it could be somebody else. I also don't think we'll see the pit girl scene in this episode either. If Hannah is the pit girl, then that could well happen in season 4 as she's going to have a larger role to play in the story. I can already tell that Shauna is also going to be just as infuriating in the next episode too. There was a clip before the hunt of her getting her weapon and screaming like she's excited about having to hunt one of the members. She's got an appetite for killing, she's confident, and she doesn't think that the people of the group will go against her, so I'm intrigued to see if that's going to change at all. Outside of the clips that were focused on the hunt in the wilderness timeline, there was a scene of Shauna going round to Misty's to confront her. We know that Misty is suspicious of Shauna, but she did say that her cat story checked out when she was in the city. So I reckon we could see Misty calling her round because she's got some new information about what she saw on Lottie's phone. I wonder if it could be that she's found some more damning evidence on Shauna that ties her to the scene, or if it could be that Jeff or Callie were responsible for the murder. I think it could be a selfie of Lottie and Callie. Now, there are a couple of different shots that I think could go in a few different directions. The past few episodes, we've seen Callie almost trying to get Jeff on her side by making out like Shauna is a bad person and how their lives are better without her, and I think that's going to be key. I wonder if this scene where Callie is in tears around the table with Jeff looking shocked is going to be her admitting to her father that she was responsible for killing Lottie. That would make sense as to why Shauna's DNA was present under Lottie's fingernails, because there would be a match there. Plus, with Callie and Jeff getting closer, she might feel comfortable telling him. I don't think it would be deliberate though. Callie was infatuated with Lottie and her time in the wilderness, so I think she went to comfort her about something that was in the note in the envelope with the tape, and maybe things got out of hand. Or, as we know, Lottie gave Callie the necklace before she was thrown out of the house, and that necklace is often associated with death in the show. So I wonder if Lottie had ulterior motives with Callie, and then maybe once she tried to do something to her, that's where Callie fought back and it could have ultimately led to her death. That could be why Lottie was setting up the environment like her vision from the baptism in the basement and why she saw the Antler Queen. There was a shot of Shauna in tears and Callie's wardrobe being completely empty, as if it seems like she'd done a runner. So Shauna might be in tears because she'll realise that she's now all alone, as her husband won't be there and her daughter might not be either. Or if we say that Shauna is the killer, I think we could potentially see this scene play out with Jeff and Callie listening to the tape recording and conversation that Callie recorded on her phone. And as they listen to it, they could be disgusted at what they're hearing. They know that Shauna is a killer, but being exposed to the wilderness Shauna for the first time in their lives could be something that's difficult for them to handle. Plus, if they find out that she killed Lottie, that might make them feel like they want to leave her. Hence why there could be nothing in Callie's wardrobe and why Shauna was in tears. Honestly, the next episode is a difficult one to predict as it could genuinely go in so many different directions. But I'm thinking we'll see a hunt in the wilderness timeline, a hunt in the present day timeline with Ty going after Melissa, and we'll see Callie potentially being revealed to be the killer of Lottie. I'm excited to see which route the show's going to go in, and I'm hoping the finale is going to be just as eventful as the previous few episodes. So, there you have it, Yellowjackets Season 3 Episode 10 Trailer Explained. If you want to see every episode of Yellowjackets Season 3 being broken down, then click on the card in the top corner, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video and I'll see you in the next one.